Welcome to John Sue and Michael Rosmer's video Battleathon, inspired by Gary Vaynerchuk. Today we're going to talk about how to get shit done in an effective and efficient manner. You hear a lot of speakers talk about you gotta think about the long game, right? Too many people are focusing on the short game, so they're sacrificing their future, because they're getting all these small little payoffs, and they're not thinking long term. And then you have other people who are basically not thinking long term. So somebody who's got no goals in life and is just working day by day by day, right? And they're not really getting anywhere in life, and they're just kind of staying in one spot, right? If you compare the guy who's always taking the home runs versus the guy who's doing the little, I guess, how would you say, bunts at bat, both guys are kind of not really going anywhere, because this guy's passing on opportunities who's waiting for only home runs, and this guy doesn't see any big opportunities, so he's just picking up, the low-hanging fruit. So both guys aren't really going anywhere, and they're all kind of staying stationary. Today I'm going to talk about how you should combine both sides, because people always say, should I do long-term or short-term? And I think that's the problem, is people believe they need to pick long-term or short-term. What I'm saying in this video is, why can't you do both short-term and long-term at the same time? Do both short-term and long-term strategies at the same time in the same moment. You're probably wondering, what the hell are you talking about, John? That's crazy. How do you do long-term and short-term at the same time? How's it possible? And this is where the whole balance idea comes along. How you do long-term and short-term at the same time is, you have a long-term vision. What is that big, crazy, badass goal you have at the end? What is that goal? And what you end up doing every day, your execution, is just execute the next step. So think of it like this: big badass goal, and every day you're only executing the next step. And as you execute every single day, just like a compounded savings, it all adds up, and every little step is going to drive you closer to your big goal. So remember, envision long-term, execute short-term. That's how you get the best results. When one's missing the other, you spend more time digging circles where you're at, running that ground, running a hole into that ground. But when you do it that way, with long-term vision and short-term execution, you're always moving forward towards your goal. You're spending less time drilling that hole, walking in the same spot. So a good example, what I was stuck in was, I was always thinking long-term vision, long-term, we're going to build real estate companies in 4 cities. So what I ended up doing was focus only on long-term, but I pretty much ignored short-term. I just thought, get it up, 4 cities, get up and running, and I didn't bother to set the structures in to maintain a business, all the short-term stuff. We call the short-term stuff the nitty-gritty, everyday, daily stuff. I didn't do that. I just basically set the big pieces of the business up, right? Like networking, setting up the business, setting up the contacts, right? Setting up the plan, building up all these ideas on how to manage people and business process, how to manage everything. But one thing that I was missing was the short-term stuff. All of this stuff was for, beyond what the actual business was doing, right? So I was always building structures for, to manage bigger input than I was actually doing. And what ended up happening was, things started to implode and collapse, because this outer structure didn't have enough input, enough business, enough people to run it, and the right people to run it, that everything kind of collapsed and fell down. And then I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck? it worked before, and why didn't it work now? And what I realized was, I was always executing big vision without filling in the structural support of the, the small vision, the daily execute, the short-term stuff, right? Because if I just stuck on and did short-term vision, I would have just built a real estate business in one city. That's it, I'm done. That would have been no better than me building three businesses in three different cities: Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, to have everything fall apart. And now I'm picking up the pieces and reassembling, right? So that's what I'm saying. Best, most effective execution, long-term vision with short-term execution. Combine those two, you'll get better results than anybody out there. Guarantee it. Thank you for watching this video.